Hey yo, quit playing.
Hey!
Quit playing yourself.
Radio UTD.
Hello, everybody, and good Mercury morning. My name's Ben, the current managing editor at the Mercury here at UTD, and I'm sitting here with my constant co-host, Amanda Maseda. How's it going today?
Hello, it's going pretty good, Ben. Pretty good.
You can listen to this on... Are we on YouTube? Actually, I should have clarified this. Are we on...
Yeah, we are on YouTube. These episodes are posted onto the Mercury's YouTube.
We're on YouTube. We're live. Well, we're not gonna be live for a little bit after this episode. But whenever we come back for the fall programming, we're gonna be live on RadioUTD.com, and you can listen to the recording on the Mercury's website at UTDMercury.com, and as previously stated, on our YouTube. We are not on all podcast platforms you can think of. We just haven't gotten around to it yet. That's the life. You know, that's how it is sometimes. But today we're going to be talking about a lot of gaming stuff, a lot of esports kind of things. And it's going to be a great time because I got caught up with a lot of things, getting fired from a part-time job, and trying to make sure we had our utilities budget on lock, and Amanda was sick for the majority of this week.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about a lot of cool gaming stuff. And the first thing is, if you go out, not today, tomorrow, whenever you do hear this, because that's when I'm going to be able to get around to distributing all the newspapers. If you head out tomorrow, you'll be able to pick up a copy of the Mercury and see a lovely little photo spread that I put together of a lot of these LAN events that are coming back, with the vaccine coming out, and everybody being really trigger happy on wanting to do stuff again. A lot of in-person video game events have been going on. It's been a great time. So I guess it's a really funny story, actually, how this happened too. So the first major event shown was the Battle for Texas showdown between the Dallas Fuel and the Houston Outlaws for the Overwatch League. And they had basically a LAN. So they had the Houston Outlaws playing from somewhere in Houston, and the Dallas Fuel playing from the esports stadium in Arlington. And what that meant was we could go see them in person, cheer live, woo! It was actually really cool.
Ben, could you explain what a LAN is?
Alright, you boomer. A LAN,
Sonic Boomer,
which is generally short for local area connection, is generally used to refer to in-person esports or other gaming events, which is basically all I'm talking about. Technically, this wasn't a LAN, because only the Dallas Fuel was there, and they played with the Houston Outlaws online. But the rest of the stuff today are definitely going to be LANs. And that was so cool. It was really funny how I got in there, because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with the piece that I was putting together about esports. So I wanted to interview Justin, who's currently he's a guy that's been working at UTD Esports for a while, and he recently got an internship at Team Envy, who is part of the same kind of group that the Dallas Fuel's in. So he was helping run the event. And a few days before, I was talking to him I wasn't able to get tickets to, go check out the thing for the press. And he was like, I'm sitting here next to the sales director. You want to just get tickets, get in here? And I was like, well, dang. I now have plans on Friday. We're doing it. It works out. So I was able to end up going to see that. It was so cool. Number one, I got to meet a lot of the Overwatch team at UTD in person for the first time, like, basically ever. Because I'd interviewed a lot of them for a variety of pieces in the Mercury in the past, but, you know, with COVID and everything, I'd just been, you know, it's just Discord calls all the way. But now I got to meet a bunch of them in person. It was really cool. It was super neat. And it was just so much different. Like, I cannot stress how different it is. Comparing watching some game from at home, you know, lying back, you know, eating some popcorn, whatever, like some pizza or whatever, and being in the crowd with so many other fans of the same team you're watching. That team's playing on the stage, and you get to watch them kick butt right there live in front of you. That's a feeling. That's a different feeling. It's really cool.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, the pictures alone, it's like it's you know, it's the equivalent of a concert, I'd say, in like a radio aspect.
It is a lot like a concert. And just the difference is you're not screaming in the music. You're screaming when your team gets, you know, you're screaming when your Overwatch team gets the massive kills and the big dub. And that was a stomp too. I think Fuel, unfortunately, we ended up not being able to clutch it out for the Summer Showdown against like the Chengdu Hunters. But that game against the Outlaws was so hype and also so good because we just sweeped them 3-0, and that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. That was so good. And I definitely lost a lot of money to merch on that day, but
same.
Totally
Not same, but I feel yes.
Like it's like a concert. It's like a concert for radio.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, oh, this concert's cool. I'll cover it for radio. We get the tickets for free. Because like we get it through like the promoters or whatever. Shout out to radio. Join radio. Go to free concerts. Waste your money on the merch anyways. And that's exactly what happened. Like it was what happened with like the Caravan Palace review that I did when I was like a freshman. I was like, all right, they're gonna be in Dallas. Can I get tickets through a promoter? Athena's like, yeah, you're on one. I'm like, nice. We got tickets. Got there, I was like, man, we got tickets for free. I'm gonna be like so saving money. And then I bought like 3 shirts and I lost like $90 right there. So that's kind of how it goes a lot of the time, but it is really cool.
Yeah.
Because you can also get into a lot of really neat conversations with people there, right? Because everybody's gonna be a fan of this game, and like all these people have, you know, the similar interests and all this kind of thing, and maybe not as much as like a live esports event, but especially with like the locals. So the second thing that I was checking out was it's a weekly Smash tournament at the Free Play Arcade in Richardson.
Oh.
And if you've never been, it's an arcade. It's about 15 minutes away from UTD, and it's got it's got like a $12 entry, you know, and you can on any given night, you can walk in, pay the entry. They've got a full service bar, food, and all these old arcade machines. You can play all sorts of different stuff. They've got a few PS4 set up in the back to play like the latest fighting games, like, and there's just all these games, right? There's all these games. There's all this kind of different varieties of games, just like the variety of music you can listen to on Radio UTD. Okay, That's right, you just got segued into the ad break. You can listen to us on radioutd.com. And you can check out this podcast on YouTube and on utdmercury.com. Check out all the stories that we were writing about, that we're talking about. And you can get the paper in person tomorrow from the SU. JSOM should have a stand. And I think there's like a stand in UV, like at the housing office. And you'll be able to pick it up and you can see the land photo spread and see what I'm talking about. But at Freaks, whenever there's a Smash Invitational, it's really hype. Because you can watch, the progression of everybody duking it out in the original pools and then fighting through the bracket. They have a stream running. And they have like the big fights on, like, basically projected onto the wall. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of cool people that show up all the time. And you're just not going to get that kind of experience just sitting at home, playing Smash on the worst netcode in the world, right? So, yeah, it's really awesome. I highly recommend going to Freaks on a Thursday night. Just whenever you can. Because the kind of people you can meet and talk to, the kind of conversations you can have, the kind of games you can play is really awesome. It's really funny, actually, because I went and I was like, oh, there's a Guilty Gear Strive setup here. I can play some Guilty Gear. Alright, sick. I hopped on, I was fighting the CPU for a bit, then it broke, somebody had to fix it, I came back, and somebody that got knocked out of the Smash bracket walks up and is like, hey, I'm H-Boy. I'm like, hey, I'm Jazzy. So that's like the Discord name that I go by. He walks up, and I'm just like, alright, you wanna play some Guilty Gear? He's like, heck yeah, I love to play Guilty Gear. I love Nagoriyuki, he looks so cool. And if you've never played Guilty Gear Strive, it's a 2-player fighting game. It looks like Street Fighter and the like. And Nagoriyuki is a black vampire samurai. And he's a very slow-moving character with a lot of good he has a lot of good moves that deal a lot of damage, but he's very punishable whenever he misses those attacks. And I was playing this guy named Axel. What Axel does is he's got basically 2 scythes on chains. He has a lot of range. He's able to kind of zone out his opponent a lot of the times in a fight and kind of make space in between him and somebody else. And he also has a really funny time stop supers. So this guy, H-Boy, had not played, I guess, a whole lot of Guilty Gear. But I definitely bought Guilty Gear Strive on release, and I'd been grinding that for days at that point. And so he got beat. He got beaten to the ground, and I was like, alright, yeah. And after like 8 sets of like 2-0 or 1-0s, I was like, alright, I think we'll call it. And then some time passed, came back around, it's like top 8s in the Smash locals. And it was really cool seeing all the games going on stream. And H was like, hey, you want to play some Smash? I'm like, oh, this is where it gets dealt back. And then I got my alright, no curse words. I got my butt handed to me for a good 30 minutes. Yeah, we got smashed. It wasn't even close. And it was just like, here's a tip for that. And it's those kinds of interactions I really like about, going to an arcade and playing these kinds of games, right? The FGC, the fighting game community is really cool. And there's one on UTD as well. That was actually the last image in the LAN. Is that we have a pretty sprawling FGC at UTD. They like to play a lot of different games. So, like, I don't want to hear anybody, they come up to UTD, they walk into, like, the TV room whenever the fall semester starts up, in the student union, they walk in and like, yeah, nobody here plays, like, Eunice or whatever. Like, there's a lot of people that play fighting games at UT Dallas. And they play a lot of different fighting games as well. You'll probably be able to find somebody to fight you in whatever game it is you're playing. And even if it's some like random Kasuge from 1984 or something, they'll still probably be able to learn it and fight with you easily enough. And so they had one of the first in-person things in a long while at UTD was they had a Guilty Gear Strive tournament. And it was really fun to show up and, you know, just hang out with a bunch of other UTD students and just kind of play some Guilty Gear. Play some games together. Learn a lot from people who are better than you and beat you in and, like, just kind of show you, like, what you're doing wrong and how to improve. And that's just not something you can get all the time online, right? No, you queue up online in Guilty Gear Strive. You get into the tower, you fight somebody, you can't, you know, if somebody beats you in for 3 games in a row, you're not going to be able to talk to them and have them, like, slap you in the face and tell you, bro, you got to start anti-airing, you know? You got to start pressing buttons. Yeah, that's just not something that can happen. And that's something that's really cool. They had their whole tournament run through. I wasn't able to stick around, unfortunately, but, you know, they had a raging time, and they're just sitting in Founders playing some Guilty Gear. That's some cool stuff.
It's really hard to facilitate that small talk that usually people don't necessarily, like, enjoy in day-to-day, but when it comes to, like, events, that's something I feel like we have not been able to achieve as well in these online, you know, internet events. If you're at a dance party, then you can talk in between songs when you're going to get punched, or like in your situation, like maybe between different games and talking to the other person because you're in the same room, you know? With online events and tournaments and stuff, it feels like either you log off as soon as the game's done, or maybe someone sends you a message in the chat. Sometimes it can make you want to cry, but
it's pretty scuffed. That's just kind of how it goes. And so, coming up next, we're going to be talking, you know, I actually, you know, I guess we ran out of time. I can't really talk about my esports opinion. I think
we have time.
I can talk about it another time. But coming on up, we're going to be talking to Fatima, our current opinion editor, about some ramen debt art that was put up at the end of April. If you're around, you might have seen it. It was on TI Plaza, made by one Aaron Bray. Stick around, you don't want to miss it.
Hey, this is Sydney Sprague, and you're listening to Radio UTD Dallas.
Good morning again, everybody. You're listening to the Mercury Morning News here on RadioUTD.com. We are going into a pretty interesting story. You know, there are some radio connections here a little bit, but speaking of radio connections, if you'd like to connect with Radio UTD, be sure to follow us on socials at Radio UTD, all one word, lowercase, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then just a little promo right here, right now. We will be at the Welcome Back block party on Sunday, August 22nd. It's like a late night block party at Northside. We'll be there with buttons and stickers and just to be there and chat about the local music scene with you. Hopefully some ticket giveaways, but that's still in the works. So right now we're here with Fatima, and we are talking about a very interesting piece of, I would say, multimedia art. It was a student debt...
Multi-culinary art, maybe.
Ooh, even better. So, Fatima, can you tell us about the student that made this happen?
Sure. So their name is Aaron Bray. They're an ATEC senior, and they made this ramen debt art at the end of April to visualize student loan debt in America. It was originally a class assignment for one of their classes, but they were just really passionate about student loan debt and spreading the message on that. So they took to the sidewalk and they chalked up a map of America and laid out ramen strategically to show how much loan students are in each state, and they stayed out there and talked to people for the whole day about student loan debt.
Yeah, and I guess why ramen? I guess it could be a little bit obvious, but I am curious why they specifically chose, the classical cheap college food for their student loan debt kind of representation.
I mean, what better way to symbolize college students and how broke they are than ramen? The classic
call me out
ramen
like this.
diet.
It's very
Yes.
symbolic.
Very
It's been symbolic for decades now of college students just trying to get that degree.
Got the ramen on law.
I know a graduate that even has like ramen enclosed in like a glass box, and it says in like financial emergency break here. So I think it's an excellent choice for I guess the mural they are trying to make.
So I guess who ends up having the most student debt then in America? Who has the most ramen?
I believe it was in Washington. I think it was Washington D.C. Yes, that had the most student loan debt of any of the regions in America. And then us, Texas, we came in 33rd place in terms of like student ratio with the student loan debt there, but then second place in overall student loan debt.
So we've got a lot of ramen to handle.
Yes. Yeah, so this student, Aaron Bray, they had researched. They made like as I mentioned, this was for one of their class assignments, so they had a couple of other parts of the assignment where they had to do specific research into student loan debt and like pull up statistics and all this stuff. So they were just there talking to students about specific statistics, and they're also there to answer any questions that students had on student loan debt.
So do you know if that was a part of the assignment too, to be like active with their piece, or did they want to just add that extra element of education?
The latter, yeah. They just wanted to add the extra element of education. And like I said, they were very passionate about spreading this message and getting other people to be aware of this. I mean, I'm sure we all know about student loan debt, but there are specific things that I don't think are very well known. So they were just there to educate people on that and start a conversation.
I know in your piece you were talking about a recent loan forgiveness program from the Biden administration. Can you tell us a little bit more about the particulars about that? I know it wasn't like something like really super big, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with this loan forgiveness program, it's only applicable to students that were defrauded by their university or scammed by their university. So it isn't applicable to the majority of students, just that little niche of students. And additionally, that only applies to federal direct loans. So if there are any loans that didn't come from the government specifically, they wouldn't be able to do anything about that. And those are covering loans in total for those that are applicable or eligible for that program.
Just additionally, Fatima, so it was just the U.S. that Aaron made, right? They didn't compare other countries, but I know in your article you mentioned that they said, like, compared to other countries, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so for their art piece, they just did America, but then in that research part of the assignment that wasn't in the art, they had compared our overall student debt to other countries, and ours is pretty much like skyrocketing, like it's way more than other countries.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Exceptional in an area that isn't too fun to be.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, most other places don't have the kind of same, yo, alright, you're all going to college. Hey, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to get a loan? Oh, well, how much am I paying you, you know? I mean, a car is like $20,000, maybe, you know?
Damages.
you know, maybe if I got a really nice car, you know, that for myself, like right out of the gate, that's like $50,000. How much am I paying for this college gig? Nah, you're gonna pay like $300,000 in the next 3 years. Oh no.
Yeah, Ben, you're still on scholarship, so
I'm on scholarship. I fully cannot relate. I am actually just meaning for fun.
The other day was my first semester pay without scholarship.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
How much did that hurt?
About like it is my stomach just falls, and then I'm just very much graduate as soon as possible because debt no good. No. But speaking of debt, how did Aaron get all this ramen? Was it donated, or did they just have it on hand, or did they go buy it and sell it back?
It was only 22 cents a piece, so this whole project costed around like only $50, which is pretty great for a class assignment plus a large-scale project like this. So yeah, they had considered doing pencils or binders, but those are just so expensive to get that amount of. So the ramen
it's literally cheaper to get marching than it is to get a bunch of pencils. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yes.
Man, teachers would wish that pencils were as cheap as ramen. Oh.
Man.
I wish.
Imagine just a high school teacher like, I gotta get all these pencils from these kids, like $100, like $150, man. How much did I pay for that ramen the other day? $50? Oh my god. That's a rough one for sure. Well,
yeah, has this, I was just wondering, this is the first time I've heard about it. I haven't really seen it on socials or anything like that, but has this mural sparked any conversation, or is it more just a extra emphasis on, oh gosh, we're in debt?
Probably the latter. Oh gosh, we're in debt. I believe it did spark some conversation on Reddit, though, back in April when the art was posted, and I believe Bray said that they had posted it in some other forums. Not too sure what the outcome of that was, but it was definitely there to emphasize, like, oh dang, we're in debt. Debt.
Yeah, I guess it's good to have that very oh dang moment for sure. I mean, sometimes it's just on your periphery constantly, but it's good to have that wake up and try to question, should we be in this much debt? Should there be more programs? All that good stuff.
that sort of thing. Well, alright, Fatima. Thanks for talking to us today about this ramen art. If you want to take a look at the art for yourself, you can pick up a copy of the paper somewhere on campus in Student Union, JSON, some other areas, and it'll be up on our website at utdmercury.com.
I see that there's also a time-lapse video that the Mercury posted as well.
Was there?
Yeah, it's on the website. There's like a YouTube plugin.
Dang,
So-
alright.
So there's also a whole
also check out the
time-lapse if you all
time-lapse.
want to watch that.
Alright, Amanda, you can have my job. Clearly you know better, you know more than I do.
We are one unit. We are combined. You are giving me energy right now, Ben. You don't realize. You do not realize how much energy you're giving me. But before we log off, I also want to note like one of the reasons we chose this story, other than like this is some multimedia, multi-culinary art, is that Aaron was a trainee and a DJ with us, like back in late 2017, early 2018. They were also one of our summer DJs, which is a pretty rare occurrence. Somewhere we're not usually have as many on the roster, but they had a show during the summer called Techno Industrial Complex. it was a good time. Lots of like underground techno and EDM artists. So it's nice to see that they're still on campus doing stuff.
Having a good time, showing us how poor we all are.
For sure.
The classic endeavor. We're gonna head into some new music here, so stick around. We'll be right back.
You want to know what I think?
Yes.
I think you're some kind of deviated prevert. I think General Ripper found out about your preversion and that you were organizing some kind of mutiny of preverts. Now move!
You've been reading the cards, haven't you?
I've been doing the accounts.
Come on, read my future for me.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy, just like everything everywhere is going crazy.
Going crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy.
Come on, read my future.
It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house.
My name is Bobby Flanders.
They're crazy.
Read my future for me.
You haven't got any.
What do you mean?
Your future is all used up. Why don't you go home?
You're listening to Radio UTD.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mercury Morning News. Once again, it's Ben here. I hope you enjoyed the new music Amanda had lined up for you. And right now, we're going to be talking about some musical news. And it's musical news close to home. We're coming back. Radio UTD is going to be back in person in the studio. And you can apply to be here.
You can apply.
You can apply. You can apply. All of you can apply. Not only to be a DJ, but also to be an audio tech. Because we're trying to get our pseudo stereo video series back on the ground. It's going to be a great time. Amanda, what are the details? Let me know the deets.
Please, if you are interested in being an audio tech with us, please contact station manager at radioutd.com. Right now, we've gone through a good amount of interviews, but even with like that amount, we are striving for a bigger team. Just for the purpose of right now, if we were to do a studio session, it would be like a skeleton crew with the amount of techs we have, and we would like it to be less of a stressful like job. It's, you know, because it's a volunteer position, but it's a fun volunteer position. But at the same time, we're trying to go for a bigger team so y'all can kind of alternate in and out. So the commitment's a little bit less, especially when exam season comes around. But yeah, audio techs, if you have experience with audio equipment or mixing, we're looking for both. And of course, if you're interested in learning about the other, we'd love to help out with that and pair you up with a more experienced tech. We're planning to get video techs via UTD TV, but if we need to do video tech applications, I guess just keep following us on social for those updates.
Bro, just ask about it. I'm sure they'll be happy to have it.
Yeah, if you want to come by the station and be like, hey, my dream is to make Tiny-esque style videos, well, have we got the opportunity for you?
It's time to make them tiny desks. Radio UTDs now. That's why it's pseudo stereo. It's not tiny desks.
Yeah, but it's very similar. Studio Stereo is our music video series in which we record sessions with local and touring bands. And it started, you know, in 2017, and we're hoping to bring it back because unfortunately it did have to go on hiatus when 2020 hit. No bands or guests allowed, you know, on campus for a long time, but that's changing with the fall opening back up. So we're starting to reach out to bands who reached out to us during the pandemic and we couldn't provide for them. And we're hoping to have a good amount of sessions scheduled for this semester and then start releasing those videos following that into the next year.
Now then, Amanda, do we have any bands lined up?
We have bands Amanda has emailed and is waiting earnestly for their reply. So right now we have none, but I'm hoping... Likely that is going to change, but for summer our main plan was to get techs because the worst thing to do would be to promise a session and then not be able to do a session because we had no one to be there for the session.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, with the skeleton crew, we are starting to reach out.
Yeah, and you know what else you can do at Radio UTD? Be on the radio.
Yeah, our DJ talk show applications are due on September 17th, so you've got plenty of time. We're going to be hosting some events in the beginning of the semester if you want to learn more about how being a DJ works or how being a talk show host works. We're actually bringing back a talk show, Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about that, but
bringing it back.
The esports talk show behind the screens.
Bringing it back behind the screens.
Mm-hmm.
We get Hector. We got bloody
Hitarth.
Here's a third guy.
Yeah, Audie graduated, but they're bringing on 2 new people.
Oh, that's awesome! Who are they bringing on?
I don't know, Ben. It's a surprise.
All right. Well, I'm hype. I'm ready for the screens.
Yeah. So, but again, DJ shows and talk shows. So if you're a fan of a certain music genre or style or even theme, we've had shows in the past that have been like every episode is a different color or a different movie per se. But if you're more interested in talk show / podcast-esque stuff, being a talk show would be the way to go. We've had narrative-esque talk shows in the past that have done pretty well. Sky's the limit. Just, fill out an application, schedule an interview with us. And yeah, we're just big for, college student staff, creativity, content. Yes. I know audio is a very
I wonder,
media.
Do we get the phone? Do we get the phone back whenever we're back?
We do get the phone back, Ben. It's new. It's got Teams integration looking stuff on it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It has a touchpad.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you wanna take our job, run some cool talk show. I'm probably gonna run a talk show, actually. That's just like not specifically the Mercury Morning News. Just a random talk show. Just talking about stuff.
Just talking.
Just hanging, talking about random stuff going on. Just have different segments. that this is dumb, you know. Like I like there's a segment from the LEC, the European League of Legends league, which is I think literally the League European Championship. They have a podcast called Euphoria, or Euphoria specifically, and they had a segment that was called "That's Effing Dumb," and I'd love to kind of rip off the segment a little bit. Maybe just steal from the Mercury, make it a comments and creators segment, where just like talk about things you like, things you don't like going on. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. Just kind of have like a talk show. And if you want to take that talk show idea right under my nose, apply for it before
submit the trainee app.
Get in there. Get that application in there.
Bam.
Oh. But that's kind of unlikely since I literally just pitched the show to my co-host, the station manager.
But you see, Ben, the programming director looks at those applications.
Oh, you're right. Okay. It's a rough one. All right, if you beat me to it, darn, I'll have to come up with a new show idea.
Well, that just means you need to turn in your returning DJ app.
Right.
Look at Sai can look at the time markers, figure out who submitted first.
Who submitted first? Okay. Yeah, you got 24 hours before I get around to it, potential listener. So get in there. Apply to be a DJ at Radio UTD. I'm sure it'll be a great time. I've had a great time. You're gonna have a great time. Amanda's had a great time. He's been here for a while.
I have been here for a while.
Yeah. And yeah, that's alive.
Yeah, though, like little star to everything we're saying. We are still providing remote stuff for our DJs.
Not only can you apply to be here, not only can you be like an audio tech, a blogger, whatever, you better make sure you're still listening to us whenever you can. RadioUTD.com. You might be providing one of the many variety of shows, but there's going to be so many other DJs doing so many other shows. It's going to be such a great time, and I really hope you'll come to be a part of it. But you can also just always listen and be a part of it that way too. Okay?
We would love it if you tuned in every now and then during the semester. Or if you find a show that you really like and tune in, every week if you can.
You can also check us out at UTDmercury.com. I know, Tyler, we're looking for some good writers to join the team, some new photographers to join the team. Check us out at UTDmercury.com. Send Tyler, who's the editor-in-chief, an email at editor@UTDmercury.com. Come join us in a little bit of a reboot of the org, but we're gonna be trying to make some really cool stuff. And speaking of some really cool stuff, I put out. Honestly, I still feel like it's a really whiny opinion, but I feel like it does have some merit. And it was about how collegiate esports VODs are trash. Speaking of creative things, the picture we actually have for that on the website and in the paper is really funny.
It's a glorious image.
It's like a blurred image of me trying to watch like 3 different screens at once. And basically, like, Anna, our photography editor, was just like, she's like standing on a chair with the camera and a tripod, trying to get the right angle for it. But it came out really well. I'm actually really happy about that. And, what is it? And so the crux of the argument is basically, alright, let's say you, potential viewer or listener, you're a League of Legends fan, and and you're in North America, and you just like watching good League of Legends, and you also like to watch North America, because, NA Pride, and all that good stuff. So, the LPL and the LCK, they like to start broadcasting at like 2 a.m. in the morning, because that's their time in the afternoon, that sort of thing. And actually, at the time of recording this show, It's like 1:40 in the morning. But, in 20 minutes from now, I'm going to start watching the LPL. And that's going to go until 6 a.m. in the morning. And, what's that? Oh, it's the LEC Super Week. So, very specifically today, but, on other days it might be different as well. At 10 a.m., the broadcast is going to start for the European League. And then, when does that end? That's going to end at like 4 p.m. about, maybe 3 p.m. And around then, that's when the NALCS starts. To start watching some North American League of Legends. You watch that, then it gets to like 10 p.m. and then 4 hours after that, the LPL is going to start right back up when the cycle begins again. And in all that time, when am I supposed to sleep and then watch whatever other like friggin' collegiate esport there is there? You can't, unless you have like 4 eyes in the back of your head to just watch different streams, and even then, it's just so ugh. Like, I know people can do it, I just can't. And I can't imagine that the majority of people can do that. I don't know, can you, like, watch, like, 3 different game streams and follow what's happening precisely?
No.
Amanda?
No, I get eye strain just by doing regular functioning stuff. I can't. It just feels like a sensory overload to me.
And so, maybe, right? Maybe it's like, okay, it's fine. No, I want to watch some of the professional stuff live, and that's okay. And if I can't, they have VODs. So, collegiate esports, they should have VODs too, right? Wrong, you're wrong. Most of them don't, or half the time it doesn't. And it's so annoying. Like, especially, it hits the worst whenever a game is streamed and you can't find it. This has happened to me so many times. It'll be like some random league game or something that happened like a week ago from our collegiate team, right? And what happens? Well, because they don't have partner status on Twitch yet, which I'm told they will be getting soon. To be fair, we're getting it soon. But UTD's, Twitch VODs, they tend to disappear after a week. And then, that's it. It's gone forever. Can't watch it. I missed it. And it just starts to suck. It's just like, bro, come on, man.
Are they not allowed to re-upload to YouTube or anything?
They just don't. It's just, they just don't. And it's just not worth the effort for them or something, or they don't want to leak something, or... bro, just upload the VOD to YouTube, man. Like, come on. And I've talked to the guys at UTD Sports. To be fair, that's like, they have their own reasons for not doing so. And that's why, and a lot of esports teams in collegiate don't do this, and a lot of collegiate esports don't do this in general with their VODs. Like the Gateway Legends Invitational, one of the biggest LANs in recent memory, only has Twitch VODs. You gotta scroll through that like 5 or 7 hour long video, just find the exact game you're looking for, and then you gotta watch it on Twitch. And this is part of like the kind of really whiny kind of feeling part of the opinion. It was like, I don't want to watch your VODs on Twitch, man. Just let me watch it on YouTube. The viewing experience is so much better most of the time. And just like, gosh darn it, I just want to watch the esports, man. So let me add them. And this is like a prevalent issue across different collegiate campuses, like like Winthrop or like Harrisburg. You're just not going to be able to find VODs of these teams playing unless it's like the official LCS Academy stream, which is nice. To be fair, that's nice. But I just wish it was easier. So this is what I propose. All right, I would like it if we could just get a replay archive for just collegiate esports. Just split it up across all the esports. That's fine. Have a CS:GO one, have an Overwatch one, have a League one, but all of these games have replay files. Okay? They got them. They're like 10 megabytes, 20, maybe 50, I don't know. But they're not that big. They're not a video file. You can take the replay file, upload it to some website, even just a Google Drive folder, and just say, all right, bam, watch it in your own game client. And a lot of the times that's even just like better than just watching the video, because when you watch a game back through the replay file, you can watch from whatever perspective you want. You can see, you know, what all the players are doing. You can see all the perspectives. It's really neat. And it's less effort than making a video. So please, Collegiate Esports.
Would that mean like a replay file of every player's replay? Or like how exact?
Well, no, it includes it. It includes it. That's how replay files work.
Okay.
It's just a record of all of the game inputs in the game. And you can load it up in whatever game you want to watch it back in, and they'll let you watch, and you can watch it back in whatever player's perspective you want. And you can do a lot of cool like montage stuff with that. It opens up the gate to like fan content for different students on campus, that sort of thing. And you know, we got 30 seconds left, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But like, replay files, bring them back, man. All right, bring them back. Okay, that's my tirade. That's my crusade. Bring back the It used to be a thing, because like they would have it for like Warcraft 3. They would have it for like Doom. Bring back the replay file as like a thing to upload and have a good Mercury Morning.